Hey guys, and welcome to a tutorial on while loops. Now, how we use while loops in Python. You have to first understand why we use loops in the first place, and we're also going to learn how to break out of a loop. Now, for example, you could do certain loops if you're using normal English, for example. So while the number is less than 10, we're gonna print out the number. Now that's a simple example. We might want to be able to print out certain values based on a certain condition. So condition here is while the number is less than 10, and that's the normal way of writing it, and then we want to print out that number. Now there's going to be a problem with this. Now let's just start off with the number itself. So the number, remember, a variable has to be all one words. Equals let's just say 1. Okay, so we've made that number 1. Now what we want to do is turn around and say while the number is less than, now you have to do that, and we're gonna print out that number. So what we do, print the number. Now if we run this, you're gonna see a bit of a problem. Obviously we need indentation, so we need a double colon there and something like that, and there's the indentation there, that's the double colon. So it's gonna run so if we run this, so run module, you'll see that we're gonna print out this number 1, and it just keeps on going, and this is called an infinite loop. Now what we could do, stop this, how do I stop it? Let's just start shell. So we're gonna try and do something with it. Now we want to be able to stop at 10. So whilst number is less than 10, we're gonna increase that number. So the number the number plus 1. Now what you would see, that every time that goes through this loop here, the while loop, it's gonna increase this number by 1, and it's going to print it out, and it should stop. So while that number is less than 10, it should print out. So if we run this, we run F5 on that, to see that it runs. You can see it starts at 1. It's not printed out 1 because what's happened here, we've already increased it. Now what happens if we move this, cut this out, and we put it after print? You'll notice that it will show the 1 now. So if I run this module, see, you got 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Now the reason why it's not printed out 10, because when it comes back round, it's actually the number 10 now. It adds the number here, comes back up here, and it realizes that it's not 10. Now if you did equals to 10, you should start seeing the number 10. So if you run that, we need a double equal. Well, actually it will continuously run. Let's have a look. So run this module. The number does not equal to 10, so it's not even going to run that at all. So we need to make sure that when we run these kind of while loops, that the condition we are meeting a certain condition. Now obviously this number is less than 10 at the moment, so if it was to say, for example, the number is now 11, still get the same, nothing will happen, because we run this. See what happens? Nothing coming out here. It's because this condition has not been met. Okay, it's very important that we understand that. We can also use like for an input as well. So for example, if we wanted to say username equals input, call that correctly, input and open bracket username question mark space question mark, and then like that. Now what we could do, whilst the username, so I'm going to copy that, and remember does not equals to is exclamation and equals. So whilst the username does not equal to, let's just make up a username now. Let's just say admin, for example, admin. So whilst username does not equal to admin, yeah, we're going to keep on asking the username. Okay, so let's just see what happens. So we put this here. So it's going to keep on asking for the username, and only until we break out of that, we could turn around and say print, for example. So you can see that this print here is not part of the indentation, not part of this while loop. So this is, we could write something like a username is now correct. Okay, so something along those lines. Right, so let's try this. So it's gonna ask for a username. I'm gonna type in anything other than admin. It's gonna keep on asking me for that. So try again. I have to put try again like that. I know you can't see all of that, but it's there. Okay, so just drag there. You can see that. I'm gonna run that, run module. So you'll see it's gonna ask for the username. So I'll type in, for example, QWERTY. Got that wrong. QWERTY. Press enter. Try again. Username. I could anything else like random names. It's gonna keep on asking me until I get it right. I'll type in admin this time. That is correct. So you can see that I've managed to get that correct username in there, as you can see here, and it's allowed me to go out of this loop and out here. So this is quite important in terms of doing usernames and passwords, and that's something we're going to learn. Now there's obviously we could also put in conditions like whilst the user has less than 3 attempts. So let's try something like this. We're going to try and put it to like while they have a number of attempts less than 3, you know, they can put in their username. So this is something like you do in a pin for your phone. So we'll try something like that. So we'll type in number of attempts like that, all one word, equals 0. We'll start off 0. Now we can turn around and say while I copy that, number of attempts is less than 3. Try that, and we're just going to say please enter username pin, for example. Okay, now obviously, right, just I've kind of moved forward quickly with this. I'm just going to say pin, for example, and I'm going to get you to follow this very carefully. I've got number of attempts equal 0. We'll start at 0 for now, and remember when we go through the first one, it's going to be 0, and then it's obviously less than 3. So what happens with number of attempts, this particular variable, it increases by 1. So after the first attempt, 1. So if the username, well, let's just say pin, for example, we've already got it up here. If the username equals admin, for example, let's just put 1 2 3 4, print pin is correct, then we're going to exit. And else, if it's not, we're going to use the if else in here. We've got that nested within the while loop. Else, username is going to keep on asking for the pin, and it should turn around and tell us if we've overdone it more than 3 times. Maybe it might say 4 times. It's going to say too many attempts. So this is something very simple. So if we run this, run module, let's see how it works out. So I'm just going to follow it very carefully. So it's asking here pin. I'm just going to get the pin wrong. 4 3 2 1. Press enter. It says please enter pin again. So what's actually happened? The number of attempts is less than 3. Obviously, we've increased the number of attempts. And then what we got, this condition has not been met. It's not met, that particular condition. It's turned around and said all the way down here, it's asking for the pin again. So let's type in again. So 5 4 3 2, for example, and then we run that, press enter on that. You see it's going to ask for the pin again. And if I was to type in the correct pin, 1 2 4, you see the pin is correct, and it's going to end the program, which is that particular exit there. So it's actually found that out. Now that's very useful in terms of using a while loop. There's various other loops as well you could use. So this is quite useful for running loops continuously. Now I'm going to just teach you something in terms of breaking. Now for example, if we've got number of attempts equals 0, we increase in the number of attempts. And let's just say, for example, we want to break out of this loop. Let's just change it actually. So let's just say we completely redo all of this. Okay, while user name does not equal to 1 2 3 4, for example. I'm just basic example. We're going to turn around and keep on asking for this username. Let's call it. Right. Okay. So we've got something like this. Now what you could do, you could use a thing called break based on a certain condition. So for example, we turn around and said if we have to keep it within the while loop, if username for example, let's just say we give it a different number, say 9876. we're gonna break out of it. So this is something that's possible, like that. So if username equals 9876, we're gonna break out this entire loop, and then we're gonna print out something right at the end, so we know that we've broken out. So we've got print I'm out. Okay, so I'm out, something along those lines. Okay, so let's run this. So we run module, press OK. So again, asking for the pin, we get it wrong. 4 3 2 1. Keep on asking for that. Now if I was to type in 1 2 3 4, it should literally come out and be out here. So 1 2 3 4, these are, I'm out. So I'm going to run this again, and this time I'm going to break out using 9876. So if I was to type in anything here, so now it's going to check this condition. 9876 breaks out. See what's happened here. It's like an exceptional almost. It breaks out of this while loop, and it comes out here and prints it out. Now the best thing about using while loops is with numbers, to be honest. So what you can do, let's just remove that. Let's just say number here. Number, we start with 0. The while number, and our first example, if you like, less than, and we have to, you can't use the quotations because it's recognized as a text. So it's less than 20. What we could do to the number, we turn around and say we could do, oh, not even there, print number, and we want to do something with the number. Let's just add some values to it. So number equals number times 2, for example, and let's just include that 2. So let's just see what happens. So while number is less than 200, we're going to go number equals number times 2, and it's going to keep on going around. So if we run this, let's see what happens. Right, so we've got a bit of an error because we started off with 0. Okay, so we can't really start with 0. So let me just restart the shell, because obviously when you multiply 0 with 0, it's always 0. Let's start with 2. Let's see what, no, let's start with 1. Run that now. See where that takes us. Okay, so you can see 2, 4, 6, 8, 16, 32, 6. It's quite fun in terms of doing stuff like that. So let's multiply by 3. Run that. See, when it gets to that condition, it's above 200. It's not going to run anymore. This will not run. This particular code within the while loop will not run. Okay, so you could add a break in there. So you could turn around and say, after this actually. So break. Well, hold on. If number equals to, let's just say 81, no, it does at some point here, we're going to break out. Okay, and it shouldn't print out that for free. So let's run this. Run module. That. Oh, so double. And again, F5 really, and see what happens. So you can see as soon as we hit 81, it breaks out. So again, it's very useful in terms of how to use the break within the while loop, and obviously how to use the while loop as well. We're going to look at different types of loops as well. We can use it for various other things as well, but for now we're going to stick with the basics and stick with numbers, and obviously you could use it as text as well. Don't forget to watch the other tutorials as well. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. See you soon.